Well, 8 o'clock in the morning. Time to get some sanding done. Got an old melamine chest desk that was downstairs. I'm going to recycle it, turn it into project wood. I put that saw out someplace else, get down my shop. It's just a portable shop I take whenever I'm doing projects away from home. Anyway, I'm going to do a lot of sanding today. I'll get everything hooked up to that and start sanding the outsides of these boxes. And it is in the middle of winter. I think it's 24 degrees outside, so came out and started hitting the heat in the shop about 10 minutes before I need to come out here. And I'm supplementing it with a little electric heat as well. Between the two of them was good. You see how my fan's doing up there for keeping that at. You can feel the heat right here where my hand's at. It's starting to settle down, get down into the room. And anyway, so there we go. Let's get to work. Start sanding these out. Alright, check the spur of my sander table. It's all good. I'll clean that belt for just a second. And then this is the project of what it looks like for secured overnight. So all my glue is good and dry. And it says it's a 30-minute cure, but if the glue's really thick and it's not getting a lot of air, it takes a little bit longer for it to dry up. Anyway, it's in pretty good shape. I'm going to hit that with that sander and clean it up. Alright, I've got these all sanded down to the 33, 32 grit or whatever it is. It's very aggressive, but I will say that it was quite the project to get that oak and that walnut sanded down smooth. And I got rid of all the glue marks pretty much. I'm going to hit it with this, I think it's 120 grit paper. That's 36 grit, and I think I put the 120 grit on here, or it may be an 80. And then I'll hit them with the orbital when I get ready to finish them. Anyway, I just got to get them sanded with that, and then round the edges just a little bit, and we'll have that sanding done. Alright, I hit them boxes with some 320 grit. I sand them with like that 32 grit, and then probably the 80 or it's 120, and then I jumped up to 120 just to knock off a little bit of it. And I'm going to go ahead and spray it with a lacquer. And here's my boxes set up here. When I spray, I generally will put the bottom up first, so when I'm my first coat, and then I'll flip it over and put it on the bottom. And then the screws, they don't ever seem to really make any impact on it. And so I'm getting ready to, I've been blown off, and ready to spray it. I got my PPPoE on. I'm getting ready to do all that good stuff. And yeah, they came out really good, but they're just about ready to pop and make a deal. I did have to take a chisel and put part of the V back in there and a little bit of the K with a chisel, just because I had sanded them a little bit. It was a little pretty light when I put it in there. Anyway, so there we go, and let's get her done. Alright, a little lacquer on there, and then things will just start popping all over the place. And there they are. Came out really nice. And there's 6 of them. We got the Royal Ranger Code, which is Laurel. We got the Wells family. And I have the 2 boxes with the Bible. First 6 books of the Bible. Then I've got the James Bond trilogy, or the first 6 movies of the James Bond. And they had a little bit of discrepancy in there, what you can find on the web. So hopefully I got it right. Anyway, there she is. I'll flip them over here in about 10 minutes and shoot the top and the sides again. Well, it's trash day. Of course, it's Christmas time. So, and it's not too terribly cold out today. But I do need to get the dumpster out to the truck, out to the street. And we got Christmas out of the attic yesterday, and my wife's been busy putting up everything for that, so she's telling me those need to go back up in the attic until at the end of the season, and then we'll get them back down and fill them up. So it's not that much of a trouble because I have a attic lift. It will come out of the ceiling. We'll put about 3 of them on there, have it go up, and get that done. So, and dice boxes are all coming out good. I'm letting the stuff, cure out on it really well, and then I'll basically put the boxes in the inside and put the keys in it, the slides in it. So let me get the trash out. Well, it's not terribly bad today. Looks like it might be a really nice day. A couple, 3-4 days after Thanksgiving. I think it's December the 3rd, maybe. Anyway, took trash out the street. We got to get rid of that milling line, disassemble it. Also need to put that saw out in the shed, get it out of my way. Anyhow, it's all coming together. And before I heat up my garage, I'm going to go ahead and get that stuff down and roll this thing out of the way so that my lift will have room to come out of the ceiling. Load that stuff up and get her done. So let's get that done. Also have my bandsaw set at a certain spot so the ladder, when it comes down, it fits right around it. I just put some masking tape down on the floor so when I pull down the ladder, it clears all my tools and goes down there, so it's got a firm fitting on there, and so I know where to park the bandsaw whenever I'm getting ready to do that. So let me go up there, turn the light on, and lower the lift. All right, let me hit the remote control and operate that winch right there, and this will go down. And when I'm up here and I'm doing a bunch of them, I'll generally get my wife to come up here and grab the thing and load them up so I don't have to go up and down the ladder. When I was younger, I used to bring this stuff all up this ladder and put it up here. Well, that's dangerous. So the lift is good. Now, the lift is just for moving stuff up. So don't be a fool and think it's an elevator. It's a lift. So I've had different hardwares give out, and everything's reinforced. I haven't really had to change any of this, but I did change that winch to 110 volts, so I didn't have to have a battery charger up here. And there, this is my kayak lift, so it runs the kayaks up the alley. But all the hardware's rated at 200 pounds, and it's held up good for this, like 10-12 years now that this is hung here. So let me get those tubs on there down to the bottom and come back up. All right, just got these stacking those 3 up on there. Of course, I could have had a lot lower, but I had my tub sitting over in the way of my deal. I knew it was going to be an issue, so I just stopped it right there. But this will go all the way down to the ground. And of course, these are empty, so there's really no real do it. But I don't recommend you stack it too tall, because if you do and it gets in a little bit of a lean, you can get in lots of trouble with your wife if you break something. Speaking from experience. And so let's get that done. All right, let's bring it up. To make it easy, a lot of times I'll stop it right where the tub comes in, so I don't have to wrestle much. And then I'll slide the tub off and then raise it up and slide the tub off. So let me get that done. All right, send it on back down. Goes all the way down to the wall. At the very base of it, you'll need a run length, the whole length of how much this goes up and down. You can see the ropes going through it. And bring it all the way down to the bottom. Put the other 3 on there and send her up. And then it sits down the bottom. You just drop it right there, and of course it'll get a little bit slick when it gets down the bottom and stops. So let's go down there and get it. Now I was wondering what I did. I've got my planer out here just a little bit wide, and so it had come down there on the end of it. So you got to watch what's below it. Thought, well, what to get hung up on? But anyway, so let me get those 4 put on there and get her up out of here. You know, whenever you're putting stuff in the attic, don't put individual things up there. Put it all in totes, because it's hot or it's cold up there. So either one, it's going to be hot or cold. And you're up there trying to figure out what you need to send down here. You get really hot and get really sweaty, and you don't want to be working around up in there. You hit your head and all kinds of stuff. Like, put it in a tote, slag it up, drive it up, and you're using attic storage. This is a win-win. Save you from falling off that ladder trying to haul something up them stairs. And, you know, for the price of a winch, $130, and a little plywood wall and some hardware, probably one of the best tools you can put to your house. Okay, it's good to go. I generally bring it up, you know, fairly tight up to that. I mean, not real tight. I don't want to tear anything up, but these ropes have held up good. And the winches, you got to watch the hooks. They go to bending on stuff and like running over that board there. After a while, they'll put a notch in it if there's any kind of abrasion. So, you know, at some point or another, probably would need to replace the rope. But this is some good rope, and it's done a good job. So let's go downstairs and get back to woodworking. Oh, I forgot to mention, I didn't mention an attic lift, right? There's my cradle for my kayaks. I've got 5. I used to have 6. I sold one here the other day. And anyway, I'm storing 5 kayaks up in the attic. Trying to get them up in the attic for storage. If you keep them outside, they'll deteriorate pretty good. So I like to put them in here. But I've got a rack. I've got a lift. And it's all done by pulley. So it gets it up here, and then I have to, you know, manhandle them up here. But it's not too bad. Getting hot in here. Turn that thing on. I'm ready to go again. Let's go check on the missus and see how she's doing. Got rid of the white cabinet. I need to store it over against the wall and get rid of that table saw. And then I'll get back to assembling boxes. Alright. Just went over these real quick with the 320 grit. They didn't need much, but it just makes them a whole lot smoother to the touch. Since everything's based on a slide, I kind of want that. So this is the first box, and I'm going to pull the screws out of there, slip the box down in there, make sure it fits, and put my slides around it and see how she works. Alright, since this is the first one, this slot right there allows for the deadbolt to slide through there. So it goes in there upside down, like so. And hopefully with everything's in good shape, that all will fit just like that in there. And I'll put my slides in there and we'll see if she'll lock. Alright, first one went in there, no problem, sliding really good. This one here, when you hold the edge in there, it holds it in there and it won't slide down because this is just a hair too long. I mean, we're talking hair. You can look at that. So I don't see any difference. Well, there is. So I'll hit that with a little bit of a sanding motion and give it a lot. The thing is, you don't want it to be too much because it'll get sloppy. So you want it to work, but you don't want it to be too sloppy.
Morning.
Good morning. How's my Christmas gnome doing? Good. Okay. All right. In this little box here, I had a little bit too much glue around when I glued on this top lid right here. Around there, I got a little bit too much glue dangling down around the bottom ledge, so that held me out before I got it, you know, situated. But anyway, I mean, it's fine. It's just that I have a tendency to put too much glue on stuff. And anyway, so all these cards all fit in there. I can take the piece of plywood and check both axes on how they work, whether they're going this way, or, you know, the outside of the box. And so everything's sliding. And so, you know, that's a big plus right there that you get that done. So let me go ahead and try and put it in the box and see what happens. All right. Put it all together, so let's slide in, make sure the deadbolt would slide down, lock in the top of this into this slot here. Let it go down far enough, and everything's good there. But I do have an issue on the very bottom lock up here. So let me turn this over right here, pull this out, and now you kind of see the wisdom in having it to where it comes apart fairly easy. This key right here and this key right here are not in alignment whenever they're down. So whenever this key comes down all the way, this key right here doesn't fit. And the slide is good. Like it'll bump up against right there. See right there where that is right there? So it'll hit that edge. So just a matter of sanding a little bit. Each one of these have their own little idiosyncrasies. And the funny thing about it is once you figure out what it is, what to look for, you'll fix it on all five because you probably will have done it all at the same time. I've tried to adjust these to where all these slides so that they don't give me any variations, but it's just a matter of sanding them. The sanding these boxes, getting them square, and it's just something that there's a little bit of variety in it, a little variation in it. So I'm going to have to either cut this off just a hair and just put a little bit of a nick in there so that it will clear that card, or I need to cut that notch just a little bit to allow for this to slide through. Now I probably will do this one just because it's easier. It would make this less beefy, and this one has plenty of strength there. So let me go ahead and look at that and see if I can fix that. All right, you can see that where the conflict is, and I just need to take about 1/8 of an inch off of this card so that when this slide, I can actually get it to probably slide in there with just a little bit of play, but no, I don't want that. I want it to slide in there without any hassle, so I'm going to put a little bit of a notch right there on that piece. Yeah, I took a little bit of a chunk off right there so that would clear it, and so let's put it all back together and see if it works. Well, after shaking it for 2 or 3 minutes going, why isn't this working? I put the box in there the wrong end. Hello. It happens. All right, let's go ahead and do the other Bible one since they're cousins, and set it up here. And basically, we'll sand the cards here. Wait a second. No. I have them in order. Let's do this next one up here. Yeah. I don't know why, but I'm kind of an order guy. So this is the second one, and I've fitted them for each box. I think they'll probably go in. Either one will go for it, but go in any of the same boxes. But anyway, this one's ready to roll, and looking good. Came out really nice. So let me pull that set of cards out, get them lightly sanded on the faces with that, and then see how she fits. Right, we had a good series in this box. Enjoyed it. They all went together pretty good. Each one of these boxes, when I was putting all these little slides and keys back in them, each one took a little bit of extra time, a little bit of extra tune-up. I probably spent another 15-20 minutes per box getting them all assembled and getting them before they work well. Came out good. I want to say thanks for watching, and on to the next project.